on News 5 Live, a double homicide in St. Margaret's. The Corozal district leads the country in vaccinations, and Belize Bank pioneers the first electronic cash transfer and purchasing platform in the country. Details of these stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSB, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime. While with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
The vaccine is now available. We here at R&G Life encourage you to take the vaccine. Belize, it's time to roll up our sleeves.
I'm rolling up mine because I know what COVID can do to families.
Because I want to go back to the way things were.
I'm rolling up mine so that I'm able to do music again.
Because I want to protect my family.
Things are slowly getting back to normal. The new normal, which includes getting vaccinated. Trust the facts. When your turn comes, take the opportunity to get vaccinated. Roll up or believe.
newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, August 5th. I am Sabrina Daly. There has been a shocking murder on a rural road in the Cayo district. Jose Balon and David Murillo left home Wednesday evening, but today both families received the sad news that the friends had been found dead, side by side, on the route they frequently used to go fishing. The motive for the killing is unclear. News 5's Paul Lopez traveled to the area and found this report.
The lifeless bodies of Jose Balon and David Murillo were discovered just 20 meters from the spot where Valley of Peace farmer Vicente Oriano was fatally shot on June 23rd. Unlike Oriano, who was robbed and killed while on his way to buy produce in a nearby community, according to Balon's wife, he and Murillo had gone fishing on Wednesday night. They never came home.
I was expecting him to come home early because he had to go to work this morning. I get up like about 3:30 this morning to fix his lunch, and so sad. I felt at that moment something was wrong. I couldn't say what really was wrong, but I felt something was wrong.
Balon was found lying next to Murillo, and both men appeared to have been shot. Beside them were 2 bicycles and 4 bags of ginger. As Juan Bostillos told us, his stepfather and Balon were close friends.
I think it's people that doesn't like him, or I'm not sure why he got killed. When he wants to have a couple beer, he just go to a Chinese, buy it, bring it here, and drink it himself. Sometimes he come with the same guy that was killed. Yeah, they drink together here, and everywhere they're always together. Yeah, so they had a good relationship with the other guy.
The chairman of the village told News 5 that recently there have been reports of thefts at ginger farms. And while this may be one angle police will investigate, the location where Balon's body was discovered is only a few minutes' ride from his home, across from a shallow stream. He and Maria traverse this road often on their fishing trips.
I was in my hammock downstairs when David's wife came. I called her at first, and I asked her if David has come home. She didn't pick up her phone. Her daughter-in-law picked up her phone, and she said no, that David hasn't come home as yet. So that's when I feel it's so strange that that both of them aren't home. Later after that, I lie down in my hammock. Then David's wife came to me and said they found 2 bodies back there, so I didn't put my mind that it was them. But then she went home, and then she come back with the news that she said yes, it was them, that they had been shot.
Balon was his family's sole breadwinner. He leaves behind 4 children. The youngest is only 3 years old. Maria leaves behind his stepson to provide for the family.
They were going to fish every day, coming out, they work together, and yeah, and like how they get together, they die together.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The COVID pandemic has hit almost every family and business across the world. In Belize, the shock was felt primarily in the tourism sector. But even quasi-governmental organizations, such as the Social Security Board, were not spared. During a Social Security event today, a general manager of Social Security's Corporate Customer Relations Services, Chandra Cancino, told News 5 that the biggest challenge for them during COVID was ensuring continuous service for customers.
At no time did we close our doors, proverbially speaking, because there was a point when there was a shutdown, and so we quickly moved online to facilitate the benefits processing and all of the registration processing. And so that was our biggest challenge, because we had to move quickly and we had to be as effective as we usually are to meet our service standards. So that was our greatest challenge. We did overcome this challenge by ensuring continuous communication with the customers, but we never ever closed Social Security for services.
And And while SSB was able to keep its services running for its customers, it did not meet its budgetary projections for collections last year. Cancino explained that SSB makes these projections based on employers' contributions from year to year. Coupled with that, SSB had to pay out huge amounts for COVID illnesses.
We had a shortfall of about $20 million for 2020. And of course, most of that came out of the tourism industry. So because the businesses and the hotels and the resorts closed down, they did not contribute to Social Security as they would have. So it was a shortfall of around $20 million for 2020.
And then in addition to that, SSB also had to pay out to COVID patients, right? That was an added expense?
Yes, I wouldn't call it an added expense. It's certainly a benefit that if the customers qualify, they are entitled to get. And so what we did notice was a lot of other claims for sickness benefits went really low. For example, for the flu and other more common illnesses, those went down, and then COVID went up.
Cancino says SSB is still in the process of finalizing its figures for 2020 in its annual financial report. The shortfall that Cancino spoke of and the huge payouts the SSB has had to make have placed the SSB in a precarious position. Now that the economy is gradually rebounding, SSB says the planned 1% increase that was deferred due to COVID is needed even more than it was in pre-COVID times.
The plan is to put a request to the Prime Minister, under whose ministry we fall, to see if the 1% will be implemented in January of 2022.
Might there be concerns coming still from employers and employees, considering that we're still not back to where we were pre-COVID era, and some people are still not making what they were then, and some businesses are not doing as well as then?
Yes, most certainly we expect that to be a part of the dialogue, and so I think probably the Ministry of Finance themselves will have to look at all of the situations, the different circumstances, and be able to let us know if indeed we would be able to implement the last part of the contribution reform for 2022.
And if that's not possible just yet, then how will SSB manage it?
Well, it puts us in a critical state again, because remember the reform is based on sustainability.
Currently, under the contributions reform, employers and employees are paying 9% of employees' insurable earnings. SSB estimates it will pay out some $98 million by the end of this year, mostly in pensions. News 5 will bring you the Social Security Fund's scholarship signing event later in this newscast. Coming up, it's finally here. eCash has arrived for your digital wallet. News 5 has the details of this app that could change the way you pay for just about everything when we come back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Full-Tech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Digi is bringing the summer heat with their sizzling summer deals. Enjoy big savings on phones as low as $169. Unbeatably hot deals on the Samsung Galaxy A series, Amazon and Alcatel tablets, and so many more. You'll find remarkable deals on the latest models such as the Apple 12 Pro Max and the Samsung S21. Plus, for every device you purchase, you'll get 40, $60 or even $100 bonus credit. But it doesn't stop there. Every purchase also gets you a chance to win big in Digi's Back to School raffle for a package valued over $2,000. Digi's got that summer heat with their sizzling summer deals. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/summer deals or visit a Digi store near you today.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you going on, man?
We actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing things since April 15th, you know. And I just routed the last batch, must be about like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make them customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
As many as 750 businesses in various sectors across the country have signed up to participate in Belize Bank's new eCash platform. It's an online system that allows users to transfer money, purchase items, and pay bills online using a mobile application. This morning at the Radisson, the app was debuted ahead of its actual launch date, which is set for Friday. eCash is a first of its kind in the country's financial landscape, another of Belize Bank's pioneering efforts in leading the charge in banking. News 5's Isani Kayatana attended the event and has the following story.
With the launch of Belize's first mobile wallet, eCash, this revolution in banking has finally come to Belize, and we at the Belize Bank are once again extremely proud to be a pioneer in that regard.
This morning, the Belize Bank Limited, along with invited guests from the financial sector, unveiled the premier platform for electronic cash transfers and mobile payments online using an Android device. The new Cash app is targeting all populations, including youths.
Those who are currently excluded from fully participating in the financial system today includes a significant unbanked population in Belize that currently does not possess a bank account due to a lack of proper documentation which is required by banks. There are also an estimated 40,000 young people ranging in ages from 14 years to 18 years, living in this country, who quite unfortunately also do not have bank accounts. These are our primary target markets for eCash.
Belize Bank Chairman Lyndon Giuseppe shared additional details on the newly introduced mobile application and reiterated that users do not need to have a Belize Bank account to send or receive money or pay for in-store purchases.
There will be absolutely no need for anyone to have a bank account, whether with the Belize Bank or the other banks or the credit union, to be able to transact on the eCash app. It is going to be available for every single citizen in Belize, with or without a bank account, even if that bank account is not with the Belize Bank.
eCash, according to the bank, has the approval of the Central Bank of Belize.
With the implementation of eCash, the Belize Bank will be providing the perfect financial solution to meet the needs of the underserved Belizean population. eCash was also the first digital wallet in the country to be fully approved by the Central Bank after a thorough and lengthy vetting process, which we welcomed. You can therefore feel comfortable as the public that eCash sits on a robust platform and has met and surpassed the highest regulatory standards, not just in Belize, but in the entire Caribbean. Whatever solution comes after the eCash, you know that eCash was the first and it's on the most robust system.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
What does the introduction of eCash mean for government's transition to e-governance? In attendance at this morning's launch was Minister of Sports and E-Governance, Kevin Bernard. He says the new app is in line with the digital transformation of public services that are offered by the Vital Statistics Unit, as well as the Lands Department.
We have been in constant discussion with Belize Bank and even the National Bank, who you are aware is also trying to develop their own e-wallet. But I think this is very critical. Those legislation that we passed recently also supports this type of initiative in terms of digital transformation across the country. We are at the ministry working very closely in terms of getting some of the services, especially like in terms of vital statistics, Lands Department, your police record. We're looking at the company registry as well, and trying to come up with a national ID at some point down the road in terms of the roadmap, digital roadmap that we're setting out. And definitely, these type of service definitely will support e-governance and our digital transformation strategy that we're putting forward. The issue is that we want to make citizens' lives easier. Using technology, using the digital options, and so having somebody to be able to conduct a transaction online using an eCash or a digital wallet platform, whichever, and the ease of this is that people don't necessarily need to have a bank account at that institution in order to be able to conduct that service, and so it will make it easier for us to be able to work with a platform. Now, to say that the government of Belize, through the Ministry of E-Governance, will decide which organization e-wallet will use. Maybe there is an option that we can use every one of them.
Two pieces of legislation, one of them dating back to 1914, are being modernized and consolidated into one comprehensive law. They are the Companies Act, Chapter 250, and the International Business Companies Act, which governs offshore business. Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Chris Koyi, explained to News 5 that under the new law, where shareholders are unfairly prejudiced, they will have a right of action before the court. Currently, if a shareholder wants to investigate the affairs of a company, they have to hold 10% of the company's shares in order to be eligible to make an application to the court.
To be certainly a far more flexible and permissive and innovative legislation than what we have had before. It recognizes the change in times. You'll be able to hold and conduct meetings, whether shareholder meetings or directors meetings, electronically. I don't know if you've noted some of the public companies like BTL and BLL have their struggles in trying to make sure they conduct proper meetings under the existing laws, whether trying to amend the articles to enable it, or using proxy appointments to be able to hold quorum in in-person meetings. With this new law, certainly that won't be a problem anymore, because it will recognize electronic attendance and have quorum through that means electronically. So that's just one of the provisions that will exist in the new companies law. But beyond that, the intent is also to simplify the process of starting a business, the process of incorporating a company with less requirements and more practical, in a more practical way. Beyond that, there are other provisions as well that look at introducing minority shareholder rights protection provisions that really existed in a limited way under our existing companies law, and so this will be significantly enhanced in this new companies law.
The Department of Lands and Surveys is hosting the first ever mobile land clinic in San Pedro town to provide administrative assistance to islanders experiencing problems with their land documents. The anticipated event started today and will continue into Friday with an effort to address the concerns of residents who have been unable to acquire land or whose land documents have been delayed. Minister of Natural Resources, Cordell Hyde, and his team were on hand at the Angel Nunes Auditorium on the island, and residents lined up.
I am waiting for this from long, and I never expect that I can get it today. Okay. I have traveled like 2 times to Belmopan, and I haven't done nothing because they told me that my land was on hold. But just for a sudden last night, my sister-in-law called me and told me that how can I come here to high school and bring my, because I only may have the paper to pay my purchase price. Okay. And I get in touch, and my Kamala husband, he offered himself to come 4 o'clock in the morning to make line. Thanks God we did it, and I get it, and I'm thankful with everybody for helping me.
I want to inquire and be sure of what's happening with the lands, especially the lands up north. I 10.5 miles north, because I've had my lot since 2015, and I've been paying. My lease has been approved, and we're making payments, and we have applied for purchase price, and we've been waiting for over a year and a half or 2. So we want to make sure that these papers are still legit, because we see newcomers coming around that, well, they just recently in March and April received lands, and it's impossible that the lots around us be given to these newcomers for the fact that I know these lots were given 6 to 7 years ago. So a lot of my neighbors seem to have many confusion whether their land is still theirs or not. And for example, like I have a friend, her land just appeared on someone else's name, and she's been paying up to date. So I really just think that it's very helpful that they're out here and give us the opportunity, to check on our lands here instead of having to travel.
We're going to do this for 5 years. We're going to do this not just when elections, but repeatedly, and that way taking the department to the people, I think will help somewhat with the long lines that we find at Belmopan. But also it's about streamlining what we do. In September, we're going to get a streamlined version of Landfolio, which is going to make the application process much easier, going to make us able to provide leases and permission for surveys and purchase approvals in the shortest possible time, in days or weeks. But that's dependent also on us mowing down a tremendous backlog that we've had.
After the break, the Northerners take the lead when it comes to vaccination. The story from Corozal when we return. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
My name is Star, and I'm a Belizean trans man.
Star is a very fun person, very outgoing, very friendly person, and quite a charming individual, to just spend some time with.
Dalila is a friend of mine. She's one of my only friends that have been very supportive.
I have so much admiration for Star because I was never aware of the kind of discrimination that Star faces for just being who he is and being true to himself.
It's important to have allies that will respect me no matter what.
For me, being trans, being gay, being lesbian, doesn't matter to me, it doesn't.
Live and let live. Respect for all Belizeans.
Last month, my father passed away due to COVID-19. My father was not vaccinated. He was not. To be truthful, the things he would have said would be the things that we're hearing around town. But there were also some of the other things, some of the other myths that really I was trying to tell him, no, Daddy, you need to get your vaccine. But I couldn't convince him in time.
I think what they're doing is a disservice to this country. In my mind, what they're doing is creating fear among people when they should be spreading a message of hope. What I hear them say has no basis, no scientific basis for the assertions they're making. And more than anything else, there's no legal basis for their assertion.
Would he have gotten that vaccine, he would still be here cracking his jokes and being his fun, crazy self, and we really miss him.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
The country is in its third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic as the number of positive cases continues to rise. As of Wednesday, there are now 432 active cases. 338 COVID-related deaths have been recorded, and there are 10 active hospitalizations. But of those active cases, only 21 are registered in for Corozal District. The medical chief of staff at the Corozal Community Hospital says this low number is because of the high number of vaccinated persons. But because they are vaccinated, residents are likely asymptomatic and not in need of medical care. Dr. Angela Gilhari told News 5 Today this has created challenges for the hospital's surveillance exercise.
Corozal is not at the leading point right now. One of the problems that we're having in Corozal that is making it a little bit difficult to get a good grip on the COVID status is that we are one of the regions with the highest coverage for vaccination, which is good, right? The problem is that a lot of these positive cases that we're getting, they're completely asymptomatic because of the vaccine. And in one aspect, we are glad because even though we do have an increase in the number of COVID cases, it is not reflecting in our inpatient census at the COVID unit. For example, right now we only have 2 patients, and they're not COVID patients. They're still under the persons under investigation category because we're awaiting PCR results. And more than likely, clinically, it doesn't seem that it is COVID, but we do have to treat as such until proven otherwise, right? So in terms of surveillance, it is making it a little bit difficult because people genuinely don't know that they have COVID. And it's just that by some sort of random testing or being part of a contact tracing that we would detect them.
Over 100,000 people have received at least a first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, while 53,000 have been fully vaccinated. As we found out today, the Corozal district is recording the highest percentage of vaccinations for the country.
From the very beginning, we had a very good response to the campaign, to the vaccine campaign. I guess it has to do with the experience that we went through as a region. Every household in one way or another got affected by COVID, whether directly or indirectly. So we know what we went through some months back, and I don't think we're looking forward to repeating that, or financially we wouldn't be able to sustain a third wave of that magnitude. So convincing the community has not been very difficult. The more difficult population would be the professionals. They would have a lot of questions. A lot of times if you sit down and talk with them and clear out these doubts that they have, they do accept. So we have had a very good response with the vaccination campaign. At this moment, it's even more so because of the SI that just came into place. So now they are complying and coming in. What we do is that we usually put out the monthly roster in our Facebook page so that the community knows exactly where we'll be at. We do vaccine mobiles from Monday to Saturday. We try to cover 1 village every day and leave 2 for rural within urban, 2 for urban on a weekly basis.
Today, the U.S. government donated $100,000 worth of medical supplies, including PPEs, to the Corozal Community Hospital. But as we found out today, Belize has also been tapped to receive a donation of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines, courtesy of the U.S. government.
Keep your ears and eyes open. We don't have the exact delivery date, but we do know a substantial donation of Pfizer vaccines is on its way to Belize from the United States, medical equipment as well. And even today, on top of the surgeries that were done, we were able to donate $100,000 worth of medical supplies to the local community hospital for future use.
Today, a closing ceremony was held at the Corozal Community Hospital as a U.S. military surgical team from the Joint Task Force Bravo completed about a dozen surgeries. It is part of the U.S. Southern Command's Global Health Engagements Initiative for the region. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The surgeons came up working with the Corozal Community Hospital here, working with their surgeons, their doctors, nurses. We brought anesthesiologists, we brought surgeons, nurses, and a team to work with them to help facilitate the ability to do some elective surgeries, things that during the pandemic a lot of nations, including our own, have had a problem doing elective surgeries because they focus their health care and a lot of their emergency workers and things like that toward the COVID problems.
We didn't cater for the large number that we wanted, the original number, but we did cover. We have done 8 surgeries up to now in these past 2 days, and then today we have 4 more scheduled. They were all open surgeries, cholecystectomies, commonly the gallbladder removal. No? And it has all been going smooth. Excellent team. They came here to work and they have been giving it full time. So our staff as well has been very dedicated.
Today's exercise, is really important in terms of medical cooperation, but this is just one other example of all the great work that the U.S. Embassy is doing in partnership with the Belizean government and Belizean communities. I think one of the things to stress about this exercise and everything we look to do is really have that partnership. Today it was a Belizean surgeon taking the lead in the surgery with an American surgeon, being his assistant, and working together and finding those needs throughout Belize and working with different government entities, civil society entities, and the local communities. I think that's what we look to do to continue to strengthen the amazing partnership between the United States and Belize.
Earlier this week, one of the concerns among tour operators over the new COVID requirements was that only unvaccinated persons entering Belize were required to provide a negative COVID test result. Well, there is an update on that tonight. The Belize Tourism Board announced this afternoon that effective August 9th, all travelers, meaning vaccinated and unvaccinated people entering Belize at the Philip Golson International Airport from other countries will be required to present a negative COVID-19 test result. The release states that the negative COVID-19 PCR test should be taken within 96 hours of travel, or a negative result from any approved antigen rapid test taken within 48 hours of travel. BTB says that if no test is presented, a COVID test will be administered at the airport for a fee of $50 to the passenger. Another new requirement is that children 5 years and older will also be required to present a negative test result. Passengers entering through the border points will also be administered a rapid COVID test at their own expense. 5 new ambassadors to Belize presented their credentials to Governor General Froila Salam during a virtual ceremony today. All non-resident ambassadors, they are Lina Eugenia Ahoy Rojas of Costa Rica, Mehmet Erkan Eytun of the Republic of Turkey, Dr. Maureen Piribonemi Termuno of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Paisan Rapanikij of Kingdom of Thailand, and Ricarda Redeker of Germany. The Governor General welcomed the ambassadors and expressed her hope they would meet in person this September at the annual Diplomatic Week hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration. The ambassadors each conveyed on behalf of their respective countries an intention of cooperating with Belize in several areas of priority, which include conservation, human rights, climate change, and equitable healthcare during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's been months since the Biden administration took office in the United States, but an ambassador has still not been named to Belize. In fact, Belize has not had a U.S. ambassador since President Obama demitted office back in 2016. Most recently, Chargé d'Affaires Keith Gilgez has been standing in. In July, his mission ended, and as we found out from Acting Deputy Chief of Mission Andy DeArment, a new chargé arrives soon.
Our new chargé arrives very soon. I won't tell you what day, but very, very soon. And no one will be happier to see her arrive than I will. We're looking forward to strengthening that. Our previous chargé did a great job in his 3 years here, but we're obviously excited for someone, with fresh eyes, fresh energy to come in. And we also, anticipate the nomination of ambassador. We will be eager to share that with the media when it happens. But in the interim, I know we are going to be in great hands with our new chargé, Layla Moses Onas.
Just ahead, scholarships, MOUs, and training the trainers. Belizean education gets some positive news. Stay with us.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
At Belize Water Services, we continue delivering on our promise of improving the lives of you, our valued customers. We have all been adversely affected by COVID-19 in many ways. BWS has ensured that we have been there for you during these difficult and challenging times by adjusting our processes and our way of doing business to ensure the safety of our customers as well as our staff. BWS enhanced our virtual and distance options to continue to serve you while reducing risk. Customers have been able to contact us through our toll-free numbers, via email, and using our newly introduced WhatsApp numbers for messaging. We have also continued to encourage customers to make payments online. These measures are all designed to improve the safety of customers. BWS went even further. Knowing the effects of the pandemic on the economy and our customers, we launched our residential amnesty program, offering rebate discounts during the months of April, May, and June 2021. We're pleased to report that some 7,400 customers utilized the arrears assistance, and some 18,000 residential customers received the benefit of the early payment discount. During these tough times, BWS also continued to invest in infrastructure expansion and improvements. At the same time, we have continued to provide high-quality, safe, potable water services to ensure the continued health and safety of all our consumers. Our customers enjoyed uninterrupted water supply during the most challenging of times.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
There is a positive development for police officers in Western Belize who want to continue their education. The Belize Police Department has signed a memorandum of understanding with Sacred Heart Junior College, giving police officers the chance to get an associate's degree. And the best part is, it will be free of cost.
8 police officers are currently enrolled with the Sacred Heart Junior College in San Ignacio, Cayo. They are attached to police formations in Belmopan and elsewhere in the West as they are on a journey to pursue academic degrees with the institution. But they won't have to pay a penny because an MOU officially signed today provides them with a full scholarship.
We know that many of our police officers, for various reasons have been unable to pursue higher education. One, mainly because of the shifts that they need to work, which makes it very difficult for them to access education during the course of the day. And also, we know, the salaries also of our police officers, for them to be able to stretch out so thin everything. So we believe that this partnership will help us to assist our police department to empower our officers so that they can transform our nation. We believe more in transformation of our people, and it must start from our police officers and then trickle down to our community as well.
Recently, changes were made in recruiting requirements for those wanting to join the Belize Police Department. Among those was that applicants needed to possess at minimum a high school diploma. This tertiary opportunity is about developing the officers to provide better services to the communities in which they work. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams would like to see this MOU replicated with other institutions across the country.
As we talk about police reform in every corner of this country, it is important for us to understand that if we truly want reform, there is no better way for one to reform him or herself other than through getting a sound education. And if it is that we can have our officers undergoing studies to better educate themselves, then that is surely going to translate into a more educated department and a department that is going to have the capacity to solve conflicts without having to apply too much force that may result in the conflict escalating.
The scholarship in itself costs about $6,000 per student, and if they would like to do a summer, because summer is not included, but if any of them would like to advance and take a summer program, we will assist them as well. So definitely I believe that That is our part as a Catholic institution, to give back to our community, to give back to our people. And what better way than to empower our officers, who risk their lives every day for me, for you, and for our nation as a whole.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
It's been happening every year since 2001. The Social Security Board granting scholarships to some of the nation's brightest hopefuls. Although COVID altered a lot of academic experiences, the pandemic did not stop the organization from living up to its commitment again this year. Today, at a brief ceremony in Belize City, 10 young people signed contracts with SSB for scholarships to the educational institution of their choice. News 5's Marian Ali was there.
The handing over of small backpacks to 10 youths today marked the beginning of big hopes for their future. The 10 recipients are just a fraction of this year's Social Security Board's fully sponsored aspirants heading into high school, sixth form, and university. Altogether, there are 56 students whose achievement was years in the making, and though they earned their benefits by their own testimony, none of it came easy.
The challenges were very tough because beginning with the death of my parents when I was just 1 year old. I didn't have that experience. It was very tough, but I had my grandparents who motivated me.
I have to study hard because I want this so I go to high school and get a good education. I feel great and I want to make my mom and this organization proud.
Already used to being in the classroom with friends, teachers, and all of that. And when it was time to transition, it was really challenging, but I managed.
The ambition and drive that SSB's scholarships recipients have displayed over the years are what propels the organization to keep helping the community, as the organization's board member, Ruth Schumann, shared.
It could have been that people driving Social Security could have sat and just focused on what it should be doing, collecting and giving benefits to those who work. But Social Security and the soul of Social Security, which is the people behind it, those dressed in yellow back there, who have the heart to say who we want to be. We want to be an organization who can invest, who brings life to this country, and you are the life.
While excellent grades did play a part in the selection process, SSB also looked at the students' economic background. The scholarships are financed from a special fund.
The legislation mandates that a certain percentage, I think it's 0.01% of the contributions that we collect that are attributed to the employment injury branch go toward what we call a social development account. And from that account is where we finance our social programs, such as the scholarship program.
For Dennis Gladden, who has already become a role model for students his age for excelling against all odds at Wesley College, the challenges continue as this Belize City youth pursues his sixth form studies in natural resources management, a course that will require him to commute to the UB Belmopan campus while juggling employment in Belize City.
Science and technology is required in Belmopan. That's speaking for the science courses. So maybe I would have like some maths and English that will be online. I'm working as well at Radisson, so depending on my flexibility at work and school, that will, try to help me along the way.
For their part, the scholars are expected to maintain good grades, good attendance, and good conduct. Reporting for News 5, Marion Ali.
So far, SSB has invested $4 million in scholarships. The University of Texas at Tyler, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, has launched a series of teacher training sessions in Dangriga Town. Participants include education field supervisors, principals, teacher preparation instructors, and newly qualified teachers. The sessions focus on student-centered instruction and develop the framework for educators to become teacher trainers. According to the U.S. Embassy, in the first year of the program, the University of Texas at Tyler faculty will lead the sessions utilizing a train-the-trainers model, and in year 2, the first cohort leads in training the rest of Belize's supervisors and instructors. Partner agencies include the Stan Creek Ecumenical Junior College and the University of Belize, Toledo. Similar training activities will also be carried out in the Toledo district in early August. The project is part of an ongoing 2-year CARSI-funded grant and will be implemented through the ministry's Teacher Education and Development Services. Just ahead, the Ministry of Sports congratulates Belizean Olympians. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV, entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
The contamination of water we all depend on is a very urgent issue. As Belize's popularity and industries grow, challenges increase. In this episode, we will examine the issue of water pollution in Belize. Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, usually because of human activities. Water bodies include lagoons, rivers, aquifers, and oceans. On the marine side, the discharge of sewage and bilge water from cruise ships and other live-aboard vessels, in combination with unregulated development of coastal areas, has led to the degradation of marine ecosystems such as mangroves and coral reefs. Our inland waters are facing their own challenges. As agricultural development increases, pesticides, fertilizers, and waste products are running off into rivers. Increased river traffic from boat tours and sugar barges adds to the already stressful conditions of the freshwater ecosystems. In addition, companies that collect sewage sometimes dump the waste right into the waterways. Additionally, in densely populated areas like Belize City and Orange Walk, poor sewage designs result in the contamination of groundwater and of water bodies by both sewage and wash water. In many cases, homes and businesses dump their wastewater directly into drains, which leads to rivers and the sea. Wastewater, detergents, and petroleum collect in drains that empty into waterways, such as the New River and the Belize River. This, along with the runoff and discharges from the agricultural and industrial businesses, have been inadequately monitored and enforced. The answers to overcoming water pollution issues are fourfold: improved infrastructure, adequate treatment, increased legislation and monitoring, and of course, changing our habits for the better. While it is urgent that better management on a policy level is needed, there are a few things we can do at home to help. Ensure proper treatment systems are installed for all wastewater at your home and business. Don't dispose of oil from your automobiles or cooking and household detergents down the drain. And lastly, minimize the usage of chemicals and fertilizers and report any dumping into waterways to the Department of the Environment. The government has recognized the threat of inadequate liquid waste management and is working toward goals of reducing and reversing its effects. For more information on what's being done about water pollution and ways you can help, visit our website at doe.gov.bz. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
African swine fever is a highly contagious hemorrhagic viral disease of domestic and wild pigs, which is responsible for serious economic and production losses. The porcine virus was recently detected in the Dominican Republic, and while it is not present in Belize, the Ministry of Agriculture is wasting no time raising public awareness on the transboundary animal disease, which can be spread by live or dead pigs. This afternoon, Minister Jose Abelardo Mai spoke about what it means to the region.
On July 28, 2021, animal health officials in the Dominican Republic confirmed the presence of the dreadful disease of pigs, African swine fever. Reports are that samples sent to Plum Island confirmed that the disease was present in 2 farms that were geographically separated. It is the America's first cases in 40 years. Today, it is reported that the deadly disease, which causes 100% mortality in pigs, is present in 11 of the 32 provinces in Dominican Republic and is further spreading. The Dominican Republic government is restricting shipments and mobilizing the military to contain the spread of African swine fever. The USA, Mexico, CARICOM states, and the Central American countries are on high alert and are tightening border checks and restricting the movement of pork and pork products. As a country, we cannot afford to have this dreadful disease in our country, and we, at the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, along with our local and international partners, will do everything to keep it out. We ask you, the media, and the public to join us in keeping this disease at bay. The important facts to know are these. 1, this disease, African swine fever, is not a zoonotic disease. This means that it is not transmitted from animals to humans. I will repeat, this disease is not a zoonotic disease. It is not transmitted from animals to human. We have never had this disease in the country before. We currently do not have this disease in the country today. And lastly, we will do all we can to keep this disease out of the country.
Belizean Olympian Sean Gill is among several athletes representing the jewel in the 2021 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. While the track and field star placed 5th in his category of runners, he will not be advancing to the next round of competition. Nonetheless, his achievement, besting out 5 others, has earned the respect and recognition of Belizeans all over. This morning, Minister of Sports Kevin Bernard gave the Belizean delegation its flowers, notwithstanding their performance at the Games.
I want to congratulate all our Belizean athletes who have went not only at Tokyo, but even at the Nicaragua at games that recently took place. And I want to offer my personal congratulations to those young athletes that came back home and with gold, silver and bronze medals. But at the same time, I want to say to the athletes who went to Tokyo, let me single out a few of them. In fact, I think Sean Gill must be commended for his efforts that he did in the 100-meter race. Placing 5th, his name was on the chart, as I said on my social media post. Mr. Amado, I want to congratulate him for getting to the quarterfinals. I know it's a tough battle when you don't have all the resources you need in country to do what you need to do. And so that's something we have to look at seriously for our athletes.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5police.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands and keep your social distance and stay safe. Good night.